it is a tale of two illegals and the media. The big three networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, could be NBS for all I care. They all refused to cover the illegal immigrant truck driver charged in a deadly U-turn crash that killed 3 people in Florida. But they spent a precious 17 minutes on the accused MS-13 gangbanger. You know him, you don't like him, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. This as we get some shocking police body cam footage of the killer truck driver. He got pulled over last month in New Mexico and struggled to speak English. Watch.
I feel bad being the first guy to write you a ticket, but you know, I try to help you out.
They said in my no license in the ticket.
What's that?
They send the ticket in the no my credit.
I'm sorry, I guess I don't understand what you're
Maybe in the this my ticket in the my license.
Yeah.
Or how many years?
Well, you're going to do several years in prison here pretty soon. Unfortunately, as for the media's devoted Maryland dad, soon to be the Uganda dad, a federal judge says Kilmar Abrego Garcia can't be deported to Uganda until at least early October. But until then, the suspected human smuggler is in custody, and he's showing his patriotism.
Gobierno corrupto.
Jesse, 2 questions. One, if the government is so corrupt, why would he want to stay in a country with such a corrupt government?
Yeah.
And number 2, why Uganda? You take either. Go ahead.
Well, let's just talk about why the media didn't cover this at all. Remember, they had everything. They had video of this truck driver hitting these people and dying. They didn't cover that. It created a firestorm between the 2 most powerful governors in the country, Newsom and DeSantis. It sparked new federal regulation. Donald Trump was tweeting about it. And it's about illegal immigrants, which is the hottest story right now. So the producers of these morning shows and these nightly news shows, Brian knows better than anybody. You have to fill, what's the Today Show, 4 hours? Yeah. GMA, 2 hours. I mean, you are dying for hot content. So they went out of their way to specifically ignore this story. And when you ignore stories that are important to the American people are going to ignore you. And that's what you see in their ratings. They're down, the anchors are taking pay cuts, and they're embarrassed because of the way they covered Kilmar. First, they said he was a Maryland dad. No, he's from El Salvador. Then they said he's a great dad. No, actually, he beats the wife. And then they said, oh, well, you know, we just got to bring him back to get due process. I don't think he wants due process now because his dumb lawyer is going to send him to Uganda after all this. And if Joe Biden had just done his job and deported him to any other country in the world except El Salvador, he could have been in Costa Rica, France. He could have been in Tahiti, not even in prison. He could have been on a beach in Tahiti if Joe Biden had just sent him where they were supposed to send him. And now he's going to be eating grasshoppers in Uganda.
Well, good news for him, because there is a bleeding heart family who's got a massive compound in Uganda who might be able to make some room for Kilmar, and that is Zoran Mamdani's family. They've got a sprawling, beautiful complex in a country where most people live below the international poverty level. Kilmar might not have to if he has
Mi casa
his way with
es
them.
su casa.
Well, isn't that what communism is?
That's right.
From each according to their ability to each Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So, Emily, I want to talk with you a little bit about the driver in Florida who is being charged with vehicular homicide. There is a petition going around, 2.2 million signers so far. They want leniency for this person. Is that what he deserves?
Look, them calling for a fair sentencing, I don't knock. But I think it is obvious that they're missing the entire point, because this same swath of people that hate the president and that jump to assumptions about the reasoning behind laws as being racist are the reason why those 3 people are dead in the first place. Because back in April, when President Trump issued that executive order that, by the way, was in place before, and the Obama administration suspended it, which required commercial truckers to be able to be proficient in English, to read traffic signs and the like. At the time, everyone said, oh, it's racist. Jake Tapper said, quote, how would the English-speaking requirement make our roadways safer? Well, sir, I think it's pretty obvious you would be able to read a sign that says no U-turns. And the irony that all of us, when we took our driver's license exams, had to ensure that, yes, we understood the roadways signs. It has nothing to do with origin or race or what it means if you can't speak English. It's understanding the language that our entire highway system is based on, because if you don't, then people die. But yet again, they are missing that point. And to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who prefers that he's sent to Costa Rica, I would too. We all would love to be in Costa Rica right now, but I think his wife would have preferred that he didn't punch her in the face. I think those children that he smuggled would have preferred that they weren't sexually assaulted and human smuggled across the border. I think there's a long line of people that would have preferred that he didn't enter their life. So I am excited for him to rot in Uganda.
Okay, so Harold, why do libs love Kilmar so much? Like, what is it about him? Would you let him babysit your children?
I wouldn't. So just a couple of things. I know we only have a minute. First, we often, and I think wrongly, blame President Biden and the former president for Democrats for when people come in here under their watch. This guy that the driver's seeing came while President Trump was in office. He was a got-away under President Trump's DHS, and he was granted some form of asylum under President Trump. Now, I don't blame President Trump for his action. What I do give credit for or answers. I think Sean Duffy, our former colleague, deserves a lot of credit. I think he was trying to address some of the things that Emily raised. The DOT, the Department of Transportation, is going to withhold federal funds from any state that does not enforce the English language proficiency requirement in their commercial driver's license test. It seems like a no-brainer. Finally, one of the reasons this guy is able to, Garcia, is able to get, it seems like something's wrong, something's weird about this case. We have talked about reporting that says that he's the worst guy in the world. He beat his wife, which clearly he has not denied that. So I'm saying the things he's done, maybe trafficking. I don't understand, if you were an American citizen and you did these things, you seem to be getting worse treatment than this guy's. I don't know if there's something else that we don't know, but whatever it is, they need to find out. One thing I do know is he's still applying. He's going to renew his bid for asylum. One of the reasons that Congress has to act is that the president can't executive order this. He should executive order some form of asylum reform in the meantime, but we need Congress to act to ensure that you can't just come to America's border or be here having gotten some sort of dispensation and say to an asylum court judge, it's really bad at home, I need to stay. There has to be a higher standard. That's what I hope Congress and the president will work on, because I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired of hearing about these cases. And frankly, I don't understand why Garcia, if all the reporting is even a third true on this guy, why is it that he's not been deported yet? There's something we don't know, and we need to learn. And with that, I rest my case.
He's up for the Father of the Year award in many states.
Right. I think his wife is possibly too scared to speak up, but she must be relieved to some way that he's locked up again on way to Uganda. Just real quick, it's really simple to read the police report. This guy was hanging out with MS-13 in an area where almost MS-13, if me or Jesse showed up to hang out with MS-13 and we weren't a member, it wouldn't have went well for us. So why was he there? That's why the cop at the scene said, this guy is a member of these guys. They knew who he was, so that's why he was picked up. Number two, we got video of the trafficking. I'm watching ABC on the rerun. I watch at between 2 and 3 in the morning. I call you guys, but you don't pick up. And I'm watching them do this story. There's video of the trafficking. It's great video. You can hear the audio. They don't bring it up in the charges. They don't show the video. Why does ABC, and I imagine the other networks, not interested in showing some controversial elements to his background? So, and there's also 3 names we should know. It is 30-year-old Herbie Dufresne, Rodriguez Dur, and Fanola Joseph. Those are the 3 people that were killed. We just got their names the other day. I want to know where their families. Those families should be outraged by this foreign truck driver.
All right, thank you for bringing that up, Brian. And coming up next, Trump cracks the barrel. Deal with it. Stay with us.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.